Crystal Palace nil, West Ham nil. Just not good enough today for me. Golden opportunity wasted. Chance to go 4 points clear of Spurs. And certain players didn't rise to the challenge. Certain players didn't step up. And now we've given Spurs some hope where we could have taken it away. And, mate, I'm so disappointed.
I'm disappointed in some respects. I thought they were there for the beating, weren't they? That we weren't clinical enough with the chances that we had. Especially in the first half, we were by far the better side in the first half, and I don't know. Is it that fear that we don't want to lose, especially in the position that we were in? I don't know, mate. We just lacked that cutting edge tonight. We really, really did.
Yeah, the lack of quality for certain players was shocking, particularly Tatty, Pablo, and Bowen.
Yeah.
The three of them were miles off it, mate. Nowhere near good enough.
Yeah, that's it.
Pablo, mate, was just a pile of shit. Bowen, he was, mate. He just.
I think that's a bit harsh, mate.
He was. Every time I see him, like Bowen and Pablo just gave the ball away like so cheaply. We were doing that times, but they were the worst defenders.
There was quite a few players out there tonight that gave the ball away. But even with Palace, there was a lot of stray passes tonight, and I think nerves got the better of some people out there today. I didn't. When we were talking on Friday Night Pint about Palace, being having one eye on the Conference League and that type of thing, they can still qualify for Europe through the league positions. So they were always going to be up for it. They were never going to take their foot off the gas. They were going to go for it. He made changes to their starting 11 because obviously they picked up the injuries that they got on Thursday and rested a couple of players. And, it's just one of them where I think if we had stepped it up one more notch in that first half, we run out of legs. We run out of ideas in the second half. If we'd stepped it up one more notch, I think we could have got them. We could have got at them. We could have got at them.
I think maybe the changes should have come earlier. The subs needed to come a little bit earlier. Pablo, I think, I don't know. Like I would have brought Traore on over what Wilson. He really struggles to get involved in the games, Wilson. Well, so I wanted to see Bowen moved up top and then Traore on the right, Pablo off. That's what I was calling for.
The annoying thing for me, Dan, is when Wilson comes on, he's coming on late, and then he's coming on when we're in that situation where we could do with a winner, but a point's a point. Not losing is the key factor. And then we go a bit negative when he comes on the pitch. We sit a little bit deeper, which invites them on. I want to see Wilson coming on when we're still going for it. When we're still trying to press. I'm with you. Traore should have come on. I think. Somerville died towards the end. Bowen was running out of ideas on that right-hand side, but you could have easily swapped Tatty and Pablo for Wilson and Traore. I don't get now. Traore had his best game the last game he played for us. We haven't seen him since.
Yeah, that's.
Do you know what I mean? It makes no sense. The manager tries this long to get the player. He gets the player that he wants. Has his best game in the shirt that we've seen, and I'm a big critic of Traore's. And we've not seen him.
Yeah.
I
thought he was going to come on.
It was a game that was sort of quiet. Bowen was being beaten for pace each time by that. Yeah. Is it Capo? Bring on Traore, change it up. Mix it up a bit. Give us, like you said, move Bowen inside. Let him support Wilson and give Traore that run. That run on that right.
I thought, 100%, mate. Listen, I thought we defended really well. Mavropanos, man of the match for me, almost had a goal. Great header, great cross. And I thought he was excellent. And Disasi as well. Defensively, I thought we were solid. So that's positive. And the midfield, I think Fernandez and Souček were really good today. I think we just lacked it up top. That was the big disappointment. I thought Diouf was hit and miss. I thought Diouf was quite good with the clearances. He was on it with the clearances. He was okay defensively. Some of his crossing was wayward today, which was unlike him. Yeah. But he did put in that excellent ball for Mavropanos and then another good ball. So, and Kyle Peters was decent. So it really comes down to me, mainly those three, Tatty, Pablo and Bowen. That were the letdowns today. and on another day, if they're sharper, we get the win.
And that's it, mate. That's the thing. Like you said, Walker Peters done really well, but what you said about Diouf was bang on point. He was very hit and miss. You saw the best of him, you saw the worst of him today, and it just lacked that cutting edge, didn't it? Look, Bowen worked hard. He offered something, but he wasn't at his best, and I think that was due to the Palace defence. I thought they handled him really, really well.
Yeah, but
they saw him as a threat.
He loses the ball. It's not just today. The amount of times he just loses the ball so easily. He's on the ball and he'll just run into someone. He don't try and step over, sidestep. He just literally runs into him until he loses the ball. He's so slow for a start, and he just gives the ball. Like I was saying, like where you've seen a Masuaku who never gives the ball away. This fucker always gives the ball away. Bowen. Like, it's so frustrating to watch.
Yeah.
Just the simple things.
Yeah, and in a way, some of that is what we didn't do right. The simple defending we did right. I thought we defended really, really well. Especially in that first half, we defended brilliantly. We kept Palace at bay in the first half. They were always going to get better in the second half. They were always going to cut us. Bringing on Sarr and Mateta, always gave them a bit more of a cutting edge up top. But we dealt with it, and I thought we dealt with it really, really well. And this is the thing. I think now we're getting to that stage where we need our defence to be like that week in, week out, and it will probably be our defence that now starts to get us out of this situation.
Yeah. That honestly, like this is the thing what we have to take positive for. And look, with the point, I think Craig here is spot on. Like, I'd have taken a point all day long. Would be a brilliant point in January, but now. It's at this stage where it's like it's such a good opportunity to really put Spurs to the sword, but we didn't do it. But we have got that defence. We have got a much better defence than they have. We are keeping clean sheets. I thought Hermansen was really good today again.
Yep.
He had a really good game. Another clean sheet for him, so that's a massive positive. So we take positive. Of course, we'll take the positives, but it's so hard to not be disappointed about the missed opportunity today, and some of the performances.
Yeah, you're right, mate. When you look at the game overall, I do think the draw was a fair result over the course of the 90 minutes. But as I said to you, I think if we had stepped it up one more gear and been a bit more braver, we probably would have nicked that. I really do think we would have nicked that. I think he shut up shop or tried to shut up shop too early, and that's the only fault I'm going to give him. Nuno, I thought he just, like you said, the substitution. I think it should, like we said, it should have been Traoré. I think he got that one wrong, and he just tried to shut up shop too early. We should have just kept going.
You know what? I'll say this right. The Kante sub confused me, not because I didn't want Kante to come on. It's because it was Kante for Tay, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Kante, man, the more I see him, the more I want to see of him. Like, the energy he has, the tackle he put in their box, like, I want to see more of him. I want to see him earlier on in games. Like, I think he is a spark in this team. I think he can really pack a burst of energy.
Yeah. Definitely, and that's what we needed. And I think maybe that sub could have been for Souček.
That's what I would have expected.
Yeah.
Souček had a good game, but I think later on as the game goes on, he starts to fade out of it because of his legs.
Yeah, but, exactly. I thought Fernandes was brilliant today, though. I really, really do.
Yeah, he's class.
He tried to run the show, tried to run the midfield. He kept hold of the ball in tricky situations. He's got a lot of confidence for a player that's playing in a team that's fighting relegation. He's got so much confidence on the ball to try things, and he shields it really well. So it's good to see that. Like you said, mate, you've got to take the positives. We've got to take the positives. At the end of the day, we match every result that Spurs get. We stay up.
Yeah,
that's how we've got to look at it. It's still in our hands. We haven't gone and lost. We haven't dropped back into that bottom three, but we've got to match every result now. And the tricky thing for us is obviously Tottenham take on Wolves at the weekend, and Wolves have just been confirmed relegated. So will that be a boost in their thing, and there's no pressure on them. But they were poor against us, and they were poor the weekend as well. So, and we're playing an Everton side that's still chasing Europe and hurting from losing the Merseyside derby. So,
I mean, Wolves are better at home, and like you said, maybe now it's officially done that they're going to start to go. Do you know what? Let's just focus on play for our moves, try and get a good move, and see what we can do. Wolves' record is good against Spurs, like I said, but it's just. Again, we don't want to leave it up to other teams to do our jobs for us. We have to do our jobs.
Yeah,
but in our games.
This is the thing, Dan. We're still out of that bottom three, so it's in our hands. We've got we play 3:00 Saturday. Wolves play Sunday.
3:00. No, 3:00.
3:00. Well, so we're playing at the same time. It's in our own hands. We win against Everton. We're out of the bottom three still. That's how we've got to look at it now. Yeah. And then with our running, probably Arsenal's the toughest fixture that we've got out of all of them.
Yeah. We've got Newcastle who are in bad form.
Yep.
Brentford's a tough game, but you just never know what Brentford you're going to get.
No,
Leeds, you hope they've got Leeds. We've got Leeds at home, so
you sort of hope that when Leeds play Tottenham, they're still in the battle to stay up, if you know what I mean. We still want them there and about. We don't want them to. I know they've pulled away a bit.
Let's be real, Scott. They won't. They're on 39 points.
Yeah, we just don't want them to, sort of forgo the league to concentrate more on that semi-final.
Yeah. We got a super chat here. Jay Maskis. I assume he's a Spurs fan. Super chat. West Ham will be bottom three. 5 p.m. Saturday. And see, this is what I'm saying. We can't let that happen. Like, no. I wanted more from the team in terms of performance. I wanted more fight today. Like you said, maybe it was nerves, but we can't keep taking nerves into every game like that. We have to come out and play like our lives depend on it. And I want to see that on Saturday. I want to see us starting faster.
Yeah.
And going all out, really. And Bowen, he's got to figure this out. He just has to. Like, he's our captain. He's our main man. And I need bigger performances from him. I thought Wolves, first half Wolves, I thought Bowen started poorly, but he made an impact in the game, for 2 of the goals, right?
Yep.
I want to see more from Bowen in the run-up, and maybe all throughout the 90 minutes where he's a constant threat and a constant danger.
Yeah.
I thought Somerville was running them ragged. I would say Somerville right now is our best player. In terms of attack, I think Mavropanos and so if you go to the squad. But,
I do agree, mate. Somerville would look really, really lively, and he was a constant threat. But you know as well as I do, Dan. Bowen's got that ability to play badly for 89 minutes, but for the one moment he creates a bit of magic or he scores a goal, which could potentially win you a game. It's just, I think we put so much on him because he is the talisman. He is the man that leads the side. He's the captain. He's the man that we've relied on, a bit like Souček in a way. We rely on him in important moments, and he's not. Tonight would have been a moment that we normally expect him to step up, and he didn't. He probably had his worst game. So, there's still more to come from him. He's played a lot of football. Yeah. He'll still put in the effort and still put in the performances, and Bowen will give us something.
We need him to hit that vein of foot. Every now and then, he just hits a run of form, right? And he goes game after game. We need him to hit that now. I think with David, he does look like he's lost a yard of pace. There was so many times where there was through balls played into him, and he was going against the defender. I thought Bowen's not getting that every time. No. Bowen's not getting that, and he didn't.
But I think we've got to give that defender credit. I thought he handled him really, really well.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you give him credit, but at the same time, Bowen is a very highly paid, wide player. So you're going to let this guy get the better of you time and time and time again. But it's not so much that I said Bowen just looked slow. There was a few times there was balls where there was no defender there, and he weren't getting to it. And it just went out for a throw in, and I thought, fuck, there was I think it was Mav might have played a diagonal ball.
Yeah.
And I thought if that's Somerville there, he gets onto that and then he goes through. Owen, I was like, no chance.
But this is the thing as well, where we were saying about the Chiore substitution, bringing him on. When you look at it, you're looking at your star player is being sort of marked out of the game and isn't having as much impact as he can. He still had little impact with what he'd done on the ball. But you're looking at that and you're thinking, okay, well, we've got Chiore. He's got a bit more about him. He's got a bit more strength. He's got a bit more pace. Okay, we all know his final product's not the greatest, but he'll cause that defender more problems than what Bowen was. So, it's you've got to look at it that way sometimes. That, okay, you don't see everything from the sideline, but that's something that they should have seen and should have isolated. And like you said, move Bowen inside, giving him that opportunity. Mix it up a bit. Even if he put Somerville on that side and try Bowen out on the left, okay, he hasn't got that ability then to cut in and hit a shot. But while you've got Pablo and Tati on the pitch and you've got two players, in attacking positions, get him to swing the ball in. Give him a break from playing against that player that's, he's winning that battle against him. Try Somerville out there. Do you know what I mean? Go old fashioned. Try and put the ball into the box for the strikers.
Yeah, like he's going to have to work it out, Nuno. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying he was absolutely terrible today, Nuno, but he's going to have to figure something out to just get these over the line. But like I said, look, the positive is, again, like, to have a clean sheet. When I see Sarr, Mateta coming on, I thought, here we go. They showed up on side that we're his second favourite club to score against. So you just thought, here we go. He nearly got an assist. Thank God for the handball.
Yeah.
So, but to keep it, at that point, I was really worried. So, like I said, we were resolute in the defence, and they are still a good team. We hoped that they would be a little bit more on the beach in the league, and they'd be a bit hungover. And they weren't at their best, but they were still a threat. And look, they play 5 at the back, which maybe made things a little bit more challenging in terms of creating chances. But look, we do take the point. It's hard to, but I take positives, but I'm still massively disappointed.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, we ain't going to win every game. We've got 4 points of our last 2. We unbeaten in 5 in the league. What's that? 4 clean sheets now. As well, back-to-back clean sheets as well. So look, there's a lot of positives to take. We are still one of the informed teams this side of Christmas, or this side of January, however you want to look at it. So
the form's on our side.
Sorry, mate.
The form's on. If you look at the form, Spurs' form is horrendous. I think there's this assumption that once Spurs win, they're just going to keep winning and winning and winning. There's this assumption like once they get that win, and I don't think it will work. It works like that. So for us, like the fact that if we was in the bottom 3 and they was above us, then I'd be a bit more worried. I'm still worried. Of course, I'm nervous, but the fact that we're above them and it's night and day between the form between the two teams. We are more capable of winning games. We are more capable of scoring goals. We are more capable of keeping clean sheets and not conceding goals. So on paper, some of the games we've got coming up are difficult, but we're more capable of winning those games, I think, than Spurs 100%. Are of winning their games.
100%. You look at it Saturday, Dan. Spurs played the best they've played since the turn of the year, and still didn't win.
Yeah,
that's how you got to look at it. We have beaten Wolves. We put Wolves to the sword, but smashed them 4-0, which you should be doing with a Wolves side like that. And we've gone away to Palace, who are on a higher. They've got to a semi-final of a European competition. They're doing all right. They're a good side. We can't just think that we're just going to win because that's the wrong attitude, because we're not. And they are a good side. And I just don't think it's not the end of the world at that point. It's not the end of the world, which is the main thing.
It's not. It's disappointing, but we have to beat Everton. I don't want to be sitting there going, well, Everton are a good side, and they're competing for Europe. Like at some point, like I've said this before, every team that we're playing now are technically better than us, right? But we have to win. I look at it, if I'm to earmark some games like Newcastle, I think I look at a winnable game. They're in bad form, and hopefully that continues. Or like to our game. I think, Leeds' last game of the season, I think, is another winnable one. And then, yeah, you look at another one, maybe a Brentford. I know we say like we could have a surprise package by Arsenal, but let's just go on probabilities, right? We can maybe not. We probably won't win or beat Arsenal, but Everton, I look at a team that are very good at the moment. I think they just lost Braithwaite to injury.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and our home form is solid. Like we've got at the moment, our home form was shocking. Our home form is good. We've got to be looking at them home games, mate.
You are right, mate. You are right. You know, you've got to look at the fixture against Everton, the fixture against Leeds. You know, if we can get 6 points there, and then possibly pick up something against Newcastle, and even a point against Brentford, that will be enough to keep us up.
That's 40 points.
That would be enough. I don't see Spurs getting that many.
41, isn't it? We're on 33 points now, I think.
Yeah, so that'd be 41.
Yeah.
I don't see Spurs getting that milestone. And I'll be honest, potentially even Forest. Because they've got that European competition there. They've got that 2 games against Villa coming up. You know, they took a big leap out of the battle, but they're still in it.
Yeah.
You know, so they're going to be looking over their shoulder.
Yeah, in terms of, I mean, Forest's fixtures, I mean, yeah, Burnley was probably their most winnable game, like Burnley at home that they've got in the running.
Yeah, Burnley was our Wolves game. You know, that's how you got to look at it. You know.
Sunderland away. Sunderland's home form was poor until they played Spurs.
Yep.
Chelsea away, that's probably looking winnable right now. Newcastle at home, they have to be looking at Newcastle at home.
Yep. Yeah.
Like if they beat Newcastle and get a couple of points, then they're on 41. So it's tough, but you know, again, like I think so many pundits look at that Spurs performance and go, "Wow, look how well they played!" Like, and they think that's it now. They play like that every week, and they're going to beat teams. Like if it was that easy, they wouldn't be where they are.
But how bad did Brighton defend? They gave them the
Brighton was shocking, mate.
Exactly. And this is what I'm saying to you, mate. That's the best performance Spurs have had, and they didn't win.
Yeah,
that's just how I look at it. You know, out of all the results, it would have been a perfect weekend if we had just won today. You know, Arsenal bottling it again, Spurs not winning. It would have been perfect if we won today. You know, a point's not the end of the world.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, loss maybe could have been psychologically damning, but disappointing. But hopefully the players step up. I think Tati and Pablo offer us a lot in terms of their energy and their running. I just think their quality is not good enough.
They lack that quality in front of goal, don't they? You know, Pablo worked hard today. They do link up well together, but they both lack that bit of quality.
Yeah, it's like they don't know. Like when they get the ball in those areas, it's like they don't know what to do with it.
Yeah. I think there was one where in the second half where Tati had that sort of shot where he was sliding in. Yeah. You know, and I think there was a pass on for Wilson. I'm sure it was that one. There was one where Wilson's like completely unmarked, and there was a pass on for him, and we chose to shoot. And this, in a way, that indecisiveness as well, that is the issue with us in that final third. You know, some of the poor decision making, which is hard to say after you put 4 past Wolves, but it does creep in, and I think you see it again tonight. But the hard work that you see from Pablo and Tati, it does benefit us as a side. It gets us higher up the pitch, which is the key component. If we
see it against Wolves, you know, but that's the problem is with them, it's not something you can rely on. Like at times when other players are off the ball, when you need them, you need a goal, you know, and then it's more evident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you said, if Bowen's not firing and you're not getting the ball into dangerous areas for a Souček opportunity, you're then looking at Paolo and Tati, and you don't fill you with confidence. Do you know?
Tati, I think took the ball off some of it at one point in the box and fluffed it. Right, and it's just like.
But again, Dan, I thought corners today. That's my biggest negative is corners. You know, we're sweet. Henderson didn't flap at anything. You know, he's a decent goalkeeper. He's in the England squad for a reason. And again, we're not attacking corners. We're standing and putting the ball into the goalkeeper. Yeah, we our attacking corners are like our teams attack us and surround Hermansen. It's ridiculous. Nobody attacks it. And Mavropanos, every time he had an opportunity to win the ball in the air, he won it. Why are we not mixing it up a bit? Having the three big lads, as we said before, charging in from the edge of the area, as we did when we had the likes of Dawson, Bonner, and them players. Why are we not doing the same?
Yeah. Well, look at the chance Mavropanos had with that cross coming in, and he ran it, bang,
backing it late. Exactly. Yeah. That's the most frustrating thing for me is that we don't mix the set pieces up. It's all very, very, all very, very same and similar, and some of the crosses are poor.
Yeah. No, 100%, mate. But we have to be on it Saturday. That is going to be such a tough game.
Yeah,
we have to be on that. Like, I don't want to sit here and take positives and not points. I want to take points, plural.
Yes.
So Saturday, 3 points again. Like someone said, there's no guarantee that Spurs beat Wolves. No guarantee at all.
Nope.
But at the end of the day, whatever happens, we have to win our game.
Exactly.
As Wayne says, Spurs are still the favourites to go down, but we don't want to rely on whatever Spurs do. We want to do our thing, right, and get our points. So let's do it Saturday. It's so stressful, mate. It's so stressful. It really is. I hate it. I hate it. Like it would honestly, I would have been able to breathe a bit easier. Like had we got that 4-point gap.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. We would have slept a lot sounder if we had that. But it weren't to be. It weren't to be.
So,
we'll take the positives and we go on to Everton.
Yeah, 2-point gap. Let's go. Let's see if we can. Hopefully, we can be a 5-point gap on Saturday. That's the most positive scenario, the best case scenario. But listen, if they can draw and we win, I'll take that.
Exactly.
Yeah, like I said, it's horrible, it's stressful, but hopefully we're smiling coming into the season and we can relax. Yeah, mate. Listen, we'll be back tomorrow for post-match pint with the lads and have a full dissect and try and have a breather and sleep on it and see how we feel tomorrow. But right now it's stressful. So by the way, the ref was a wanker, by the way. Some of the fouls he was given, like that when we won the ball, like the youth wins the ball when he gives him a yellow card. I think there was one earlier.
Yeah, it's a bit crazy.
Yeah, so that's it. So do check out OK Jerseys. Scott there with the Cotty shirt. I always associate Cotty with that. There we go. And I've got the shirt we wore today and got the point in. So check out OK Jerseys, code Nicky, 10% off. It says 15 quid. I think there might be 17 quid or whatever, but check that out. Thank you all for watching. Do subscribe. We just hit 86k, so we really want to push that 90k. So brilliant. Thank you all for watching. Check us out tomorrow. Look out for the fan cams. They should be coming soon. And one thing left to say: come on, you irons.